What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 49ers First Takes on a Monday Night Football recap on a Tuesday. I am joined by my very special guest, SF Gold Rush. You may know him on TikTok as Sack Francisco. That's a name once you see it, you can't forget.
Can't forget.
If you saw the live stream on Friday with me and the Cover Three guys, Mike was a special guest on there. We had a ton of fun. We literally finished the live stream. We were talking about Brandon Aiyuk for a good chunk of that live stream, and literally the news dropped about the whole situation. We're going to get into that after we talk about whatever last night was. So let's just get right into it. Last night, the Niners won. They got the victory. They're 8-4. They're right in the thick of it for the playoffs as a wild card team. But the talk going around, and it's unavoidable, even if you're a huge Brock Purdy fan, was just the play of Brock Purdy. 3 interceptions. I don't have a bunch of statistics in front of me to try to make things look good. So I'm like kind of raw dogging it right now with this whole Brock Purdy thing. Mike, how are you feeling? Because we talked right off the air before we started about felt like a loss yesterday. So how are you feeling 24 hours later, or a little under 24 hours later, after being able to digest what you saw last night?
Yeah, like we were talking about, a win has never felt like a loss like this before. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Brock Purdy had a horrible game. They can try to make excuses and say, oh, he was making the right decisions. He just floated the ball. Honestly, they weren't even good decisions because he had better options on those throws. So yeah, there's really no way to sugarcoat his performance or just the lack of um, offense in this game. And honestly, this was the WNBA of football games because it was atrocious from all angles, both sides. The best player on the 49ers, his name was Bryce Young. That's who the MVP of the game was for me. Because he played just as bad, and we tried to give the game away, and he just said, "Nope, not on my watch." He's like, "You guys are gonna win this." So, yeah, just all around bad game from Brock. I just not good.
There's been a lot of talk since Brock Purdy took over about he's not the guy. He's not talented enough. He's a product of the system and the Avengers and all that stuff. And for since 2022, I've kind of defended that whole situation because I really thought he was different than Jimmy Garoppolo. And I don't want to overreact. Here's the thing: I don't want to overreact to one game, right? But that was a pretty awful performance, and it's happened again, once again, on a giant stage on Monday night. So it's like I'm kind of on the fence with how I feel. I personally, and this isn't making an excuse for him, because there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, you're just making an excuse for his poor performance." I still don't think he's healthy. If you listen to Larry Kruger, I saw a clip of his post game, and he talked about Brock just still doesn't look like he's pushing off his back foot. He doesn't. For a guy that doesn't have a strong arm, there's just there's nothing on his throws. And like, if you're
Yeah,
late and behind, regardless
yeah,
of if it's the right read or not, the what happened last night is exactly what you would expect. I mean, I wouldn't go so far to call him Tua, but he had a Tua
no,
type performance last night.
yeah,
Other than getting injured, which would have made it a full, complete Tua performance, like
yep.
getting a concussion or something. I don't want to go that far, but man, it's really hard to defend him after yesterday.
It's very hard. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. He was lacking the zip on the throws. The the balls were getting there late, and he wasn't. You know, another thing too was he was trying to play hero ball for
Yep.
some weird reason. He
Why?
didn't have to. Like there was no need for it. Like the game plan should have been make these drives long. You don't have to go downfield. Like just pick them apart. You know, 4 yards at a time. Just keep the defense off the field, and you're going to win this game easy. But Brock, he gets in this mode where he's got to be, the savior and try to force the ball downfield, and just he threw it in the teeth of the defense where they're good at. Like the Panthers are, even though their defense is not very good, the best part of their defense is the middle of the field where they can, disrupt some passes and stuff. And he just kept forcing it in the middle. And it was just like, dude, what are you doing? I just don't know what Kyle, like, when was Kyle going to step in and be like, stop
What
it?
do you make of Kyle defending him and saying he made the right moves and the right reads, and he was just off on a couple? I
Yeah.
hate, for Kyle. Kyle's pretty much he's how do I put this? I don't know if you've ever listened to the Jim Rome show, but he talks about people having a case of the red ass.
Yeah.
Somebody. I've always thought that Kyle had a red ass. He was a red ass, right? He gets
Yeah.
pretty pissed off, gets pretty demonstrative on the sideline. I've never seen him cope as hard as he did for Jimmy Garoppolo, like he did last night with Purdy. And
Yeah.
I know
I
what
was
I saw
shocked.
as a fan, and I know you saw, but man, telling us that he made the right reads and he was just late and like, I don't know, man.
I think he knows that there is hints along the fan base that were, if he's to say the wrong thing, there's going to be a huge quarterback controversy, right? And all he's got to do is just add a little fuel to the fire by saying one thing bad about Brock, and then, you know, the crowd is going to come for Brock and say, "Hey, we want Mac, we want Mac." So I think he was smart in what he said. He said what he had to say to keep face, and I'm sure behind the scenes he ripped Brock's ass like that. He knew, like, oh no, you didn't make the right decision there, bro, because on the game you could see there's wide open checkdowns where no one was covering these guys, and you're throwing it into triple covers to Jawan, or Pearsall is blanketed by a dude, and you have running lanes and everything. Like, there's no way you can justify those were the right decisions. So I think Kyle was careful in addressing that because he knew the shitstorm it could cause.
Watching the game from my couch, because I'm, a middle-aged man at 40, almost 46 years old. I'd never want to comment on athletes because I'm not an athlete. I'm just a couch potato watching football at my age.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make comments about, like, I would have done this and I would have done that, because I don't have any place. But there were so many plays that were to be had that if he would have just played a little bit more, I'd hate to say this, like Mac,
Yeah.
that the drives would have kept going. Like the scramble where he stepped, was it the scramble where he stepped up in the pocket and ended up throwing it right down the middle of the Pearsall? Kittle had opened right up. He was literally right in front of him.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was just lollipop it to him. Easy. And you have a 25-yard completion dolly down to the 10-yard line or something.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he plays Brett Favre ball, but without the requisite physical traits.
Yes.
So, like, to me, if you're going to play reckless with the ball and you're going to be, just throwing it all over the yard erratically, you at least got to have the prerequisite arm strength and zip to be able to make those throws where maybe it's a 50-50 ball. And he doesn't have that. And he's limited. He's always been limited. And I just don't understand.
Especially now that he's hurt.
Right. He said his left shoulder was hurting. I don't know if it was his right shoulder during the early part of the year, and his foot. I don't think he's healthy, but I'm of the mindset, and I posted this on Joe Shasky made a video right after the game. He's in the parking lot, and he said that I responded to Joe by saying he's definitely not healthy, but if you're going to be on the field, you're expected to perform. If you're hurt, sit. If you're on the field, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to say, well, he's injured or he's not playing well because of his toe. Then don't play. Don't throw. Don't be on the field. I don't want to hear that. Like, to me, that's like, I hate excuses. I don't like hindsight. Like, well, I don't know. Does he look healthy to you? I don't think he looks healthy. I still think he looks limited.
Those balls are, there's no zip on them. You could see that they're floating in there. Yes, something is off. Maybe it's his confidence too. Maybe he's healthier than he looks, and he's scared like he doesn't trust his toe to drive off of it. I don't know, but something is off there, and that kind of a game against that kind of a defense is it's inexcusable, very inexcusable. So I don't know what they're gonna have to fix, but something's not right. Something's not right with Brock.
At any point last night when you were sitting there watching the game, because you DM'd me a couple times on TikTok about like what I think and what's going through your mind. Um, did you think at any point that they should brought in Mac Jones?
Yes, absolutely. I
So did I.
it's it was one of those nights where dude is just off. And in a must-win game, yeah,
Yes.
it would create like a pretty big headline, Tuesday morning. But this was a must-win game, and Brock should have had 5 or 6 interceptions last night. So it wasn't just like, oh, he got it out of the system. No, dude kept going, and then Kyle had to handicap him in the second half and literally take the ball out of his hands and just go back to running the ball. So it was one of those like, dude, it just ain't your night. It's not your night. You're not there mentally. We got to pack it up. You're not seeing the field. Let's get Mac in here. We can do a soft benching. So your toe is irritated and you need to come out for a little bit. All right, cool. We'll reevaluate after Cleveland or even after the bye week, right? Let's see. But right tonight is not your night.
He looked slow, like he was slow processing, like he wasn't seeing anything. There's a lot of double hitching with the ball and then throwing.
Yeah.
With Mac, it's back foot release, back foot
Yep.
release. With Brock, it's like back foot hitch, wait. Sometimes not throw it at
Holding the
all.
ball forever.
I'm like, what is the problem?
Yeah.
Are you that hurt and you just don't want to tell the coach? You want your starting spot back so bad because you see another guy succeeding,
Yeah.
and that they're doing well without you, and you got paid a bunch of money. I've always believed in the Larry Krueger mindset of it's a meritocracy, and I don't care who you are, where you've been drafted, or how much you're paid. You put the player on the field that gives you the best chance to win. And if that
Absolutely.
means benching your starting quarterback, oh well.
Yep.
Are you trying to win the game? Or are you trying to protect people's feelings?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
three
this is
interceptions.
not week. This is not week 2. This was a must-win game to keep your playoff hopes alive against someone who's fighting for the same playoff spot as you. There's no time for Brock's feelings are hurt, like you said. There's no time for that.
Yeah, I was thinking in my mind the whole night, if this was any other team we were facing, we would have been toast.
Oh,
like
not even close.
Like this was like this. We were so lucky to be playing a team with that much of a talent deficit and a quarterback who just doesn't belong in the NFL. Listen. Again, here comes the non-athlete in me. I'm over 6 foot. I'm almost 6'3". Even that in the NFL nowadays is considered short.
Yeah.
And, to have the right stature, a lot of GMs and coaches look at that. It's important to them. Man, the quarterback of the Panthers, his name is escaping me.
Bryce Young.
He doesn't look like an NFL quarterback, bro.
No, it was horrible.
He looks like a small child out there playing with a bunch of adult men.
Yeah.
In like a pickup league on the beach or something. Like it's just
Absolutely.
so bad.
It was atrocious.
Yeah, that was some bad quarterback play yesterday. That was as bad. How much of the 2019 playoff run with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing interceptions, and when Kyle took the ball out of his hand and is essentially Raheem Mostert took us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When we beat the Packers the same way. How much of that? Because that totally came into my mind during the game. I'm like, wow, this is like Jimmy Garoppolo 2019 playoffs.
Yeah.
Where they had to essentially protect somebody from themselves because we got a game to win. Like this was ridiculous.
And thank God the defense, for some reason, was able to bail us out. 3 interceptions, 3 turnovers, and they were only able to score 3 points off of it. Like you said, luck is not even the word, because literally any other team that's not the Carolina Panthers, we would have been smoked by probably 3 scores. So it's just, but the funny thing about that too is even though we were turning the ball over a lot, I still didn't think we were going to lose. It was
I never felt that
you know what I mean? It was just
I never felt that the game was out of reach.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, whatever. He can throw a fourth one, and we're like, oh, dang it, Brock. We'll get it back. We'll find a way to score. CMC will run the ball or whatever. And yeah, I just never felt out of hand. So that's the bad part. But guess what? Next week is not going to be that lucky.
No, next week's going to be a very difficult game. I don't think I've ever been in watching a game where I was like afraid for the camera to pan to the left because if you're most of the night, when you watch the 49ers, well, no, right to left, left to right, whatever, pan to the right, pan to the left, when like you're watching the game, and I'm just like cringing every time Brock was throwing the ball. I hate this Jimmy Garoppolo like thing that I'm feeling right now. Remember a couple of years ago, the game against we were in Tennessee. That was the famous like Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a ton of picks, and there was that one wheel route that he missed Juszczyk open by like a
Yes.
mile.
Yep.
I had that in my mind last night too, like of just
Yeah.
like I don't want us to throw the football. Every
Yeah.
time we throw the ball, it's a possible turnover. Like he's so in his head right now. He said all the right things after the game, and he said he's feeling fine with his toe.
Yeah.
It it's one thing to say things, but your body language and the way you're saying it and the facial expressions you're giving everybody, Brock is definitely not confident right now.
No, he's
And I
not.
don't know what it is. It's been done before. He has the proof. He has the track record
Yeah.
to have dude, if it wasn't for Brock Purdy, we don't make it to the Super Bowl. His second
Absolutely.
half against the Detroit Lions was like something in 49er lore. So
Yep.
he's able to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know what he needs to do. And I don't know if he needs some sort of like Mr. Miyagi, like, like he needs like a mentor to come up to him and give him like a Rocky speech, like when Apollo came and helped Rocky train in California to get it, face Clubber Lang. Like,
Yeah.
what does he need to get his mojo back? Because he just looks completely like defeated. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand where it's went. Where'd it go?
I think part of it too is Brock is such a strong competitor that when he gets behind, like he's like a gambler who's down, right? And he's like, F it, I'm gonna double up to get my money back. So like when he throws an interception, he's like, oh yeah, well now I'm gonna show you. And he goes back and he tries to force it again and tries to be a hero. And it's a snowball effect. And we saw that with, that game against the Ravens in 2021, right? Like obviously these two defenses are worlds apart, but when Brock gets in his own head, he tries to force it and be like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make it back." And I think he just compounds his mistakes because he's just such a competitor. He's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna force this again and just try to look good," and it doesn't work out.
He was really good a couple years ago with the anticipatory throws. I think Brian
Mm-hmm.
Baldinger was talking about it. Or there's I have watched so much content after yesterday's game from different
Yeah,
content creators and radio stations, so I don't even know who I saw what from. But they were talking about his anticipatory throwing guys open in windows, throwing layered throws over the top of defenders and stuff. He did all that. So again, where is it? Like, what happened? How do you lose your mojo like that? And the, I'm not making an excuse. I'm not. But I feel like his health has a lot to do with his limitations and his mind. Like he
it
just
could
doesn't.
be.
He has the requisite power to push off. Like everything is like a moonball.
Yeah,
Nothing, any power behind it when he throws.
and I wonder if the whole Mac Jones playing so good is in his head too. Like he has to prove to the naysayers and the media and the talking heads that, hey, I'm Brock Purdy. Yeah, he's Mac Jones, but this is my team. I'm the, franchise quarterback, $53 million man. So I don't know if he's like, if that's in his head too, and he's trying to play, you know, the hero ball mentality, and he just feels like he has to prove it to these guys because Mac played so well. And there's that little chirp it's already starting. Hey, Mac Jones is better. Mac Jones is better. So I don't know, man. It was really disappointing to see him come out on a primetime game and just absolutely. To me, this was the worst game of his career.
For
People
sure.
are saying no, the one against Baltimore. Like no, that was against a top tier defense with all pros all over the place. Hey, it happens. Even the best quarterbacks got smoked by that defense.
Joe Montana and Steve Young had bad games just like that.
Yeah, but this was against a defense that I can name like 3 guys on, and I don't know who the hell the rest of these guys are, and they're ranked towards the bottom of the league. And for you to have a performance like that, and you're this quarterback, like, yeah, definitely the worst of his career. And I just hope he can bounce back from it and just, Kyle getting his butt a little bit, and because he has to. He doesn't have a choice because Miles Garrett is going to come kill him.
Yeah, we need him. I want to transition. I mean, it's been fun talking about Brock, but I want to transition over to the defense last night. Again, consider the source, what you're playing against. Yep. But I thought, and I saw something from somebody that talked about the Niners' young secondary looks to be getting better. Upton Stout, I thought, had himself. He's been up and down this year. Yesterday he was up. And Jair Brown with 2 interceptions, something I did not expect. I've been down on Jair Brown. A lot of us have. We're bring back in Marquis Siegel, or we got to draft the safety in the offseason. Make sure we have a guy flying around back there. We finally got a sack yesterday too, which was sad. We still don't have a pass rush. Yeah. Not making a move at the deadline to me is still unforgivable this year.
Yep.
Considering all that, how do you think the defense looked yesterday?
I was actually very impressed with the secondary. I thought they were going to have fits yesterday dealing with, the size of these receivers, especially T-Mac.
Yep.
Upton Stout being so short, I thought they were going to pick on him and he was going to have one of those nights. And wow, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Upton Stout came through like a pit bull and he was all over the place and he wasn't afraid and he was making plays. Jair, like you said, I've been down on Jair. I think most people have.
We all have been.
What a performance. Just, hats off to that guy for showing up, especially, when the pass rush is not getting there, it's easy for these guys in the secondary to just get laid out and, they get all the blame, but, they can only cover a guy for so long. This is the NFL. They got 3 seconds to cover a guy, and then after that, you can't put that on the secondary. So for them to step up the way they did was just incredible. Thank God Bryce Young can't read a defense and was throwing – I don't know what he was doing out there, but, that also helps drastically.
Yes.
The one person I will say, Bernardo Green, kind of had a bad game.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean – what more can you say about the secondary? Like you said, I think they're starting to gel. There didn't seem to be blown assignments in the previous weeks.
Yeah.
Everything was good. Even Curtis Robinson.
Let me tell you something, man. Every quarterback, even Matt Stafford, if you got a strong front four and you don't need to blitz, can be effective. Like I'm watching Stafford play in games, and I'm just like, if somebody could actually hit him and lay his ass out and, get a little contact on him in that pocket, everybody becomes scattershot when they get hit enough, where they start throwing balls all over the yard and throwing interceptions. Then this Niners secondary has had no pass rush all year to help them at all. So I don't think they're as porous as they seem to be sometimes. Is there issues with blown assignments? Yes, they're all young. This is a young secondary, man. Bernardo Green is young. Demo's young. Upton Stout's young. Marquis Siegel, when he was in there, he's young. Mustafa's young. They're a young secondary. This secondary with a pass rush, if they can somehow get something done with their front seven in the offseason through the draft and maybe free agency, all of a sudden this defense looks way scarier. It's easy to throw on guys when you have 7 seconds to pass the ball every single play. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
I mean, man, you're right. Playing against Bryce Young yesterday helped a lot of things.
Yes.
The Niners still don't have a pass rush. Like I said before, not making a move at the trade deadline to me is still the most unforgivable sin, considering we're in it. We're still in it.
We're in it.
Oh, well, one player isn't going to make a difference. Well, you know what? Like,
it's not
this
gonna
season,
hurt.
It's not going to hurt us either.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's one of those things where like you listen to a lot of people because I have both sides. You were with us on the stream. Sterling has been the guy that always kind of talks me off of the cliff, so to speak, because
Okay.
I'm very much like the negative fan where I see
Oh,
no
I'm right there with
positives.
you. Yeah.
And he's trying to tell me like, hey, you can't go all in, and one player's not going to make a difference, and it's all about the future and the draft picks. But then you look at their drafts over the last 10 years, and it's been like pretty much miss in the first, second, the early rounds. So like, what does it hurt to bring in a guy with the first round pick that you can, especially if he's going to be signed through
Proven.
next year and he's
Yeah.
proven. They don't see it that way. They really think that they got this draft thing figured out, which they don't. It's a
Ricky
crapshoot.
Pearsall, where are you? Has
Ricky
anyone seen that
Pearsall,
guy?
he's been invisible. He's been invisible. Again, this might be a Brock Purdy thing, or maybe Ricky is not healthy, or I don't know. Man, um, that's why like because I want to touch on the Brandon Aiyuk thing in a second. That's why like maybe people want even after everything that's happened, should we bring back BA? Because right now I haven't seen anything from Ricky Pearsall to make me think that he's worth the paper, the contract on the paper that it was what do they call written on with
Yeah.
all the hype that we've been kind of putting on this guy, and he hasn't really performed at all. Um, but yeah, I thought the defense played reasonably well. Um, they don't have any bodies, man. They're doing this with
Yeah.
like bottom of the roster tier guys. I'm not even mad anymore. I was so mad early on with the defense and like guys getting hurt, and now I've just accepted the injuries and accepted the poor play for what it is because they just are undermanned, and it
Yeah.
sucks
Robert
because you
Sala's a
see
wizard. He's a wizard. He's
he is
doing
a wizard, and
miracles
it's
with what
it's.
he's got. So
But what do you think? Do you think Robert Sala gets another coaching job at the end of this year? Or do you think we can keep him for another year? What's your take on that, real quick?
I I hope not, bro. I hope
I
not. I
know.
can't go through this again. Getting these random ass DCs. Like just just give him a pay bump. Like pay him head
Yes,
coach money. Who cares? Keep him,
I mean he's already getting it from
right?
the Jets,
He's worth
so
it. He's
he is
absolute.
worth it.
Yeah, he's already worth head coach money. Keep him on the staff and say, Robert, let's go win a Super Bowl. Like
Yep.
it's going to take time for you to go build a team somewhere. You're going to have your opportunities, but let's build your defense. We'll get the offense humming, and we'll go win a Super Bowl, and then you can move on. But we'll pay you head coach money. You stay.
Um, let's jump onto the Brandon Ayuk thing. Still don't understand exactly what soured him to be a 49er to the fact that he's not going to face or he's not going to fight the league on the voiding of his contract, and he just wants out with the 49ers so bad. We talked about this. Me and you were both like, move on from him. He's a headache. He's not worth it. You see Pearsall not doing anything, and you're like, oh, maybe I can change my mind on that one. But if you don't want to be here,
No,
then I don't want you here. If you
exactly.
think you're going to go, the grass is going to be greener on the other side. First of all, you're coming back from a really, really bad injury, and it's better to stay on a team and perform and get traded than it is to get signed in free agency where a team's going to be like, I don't know what to make of this guy. He's
Yeah,
a bad locker room guy and he's coming off a big injury.
exactly.
You're going to get a really low pay unless the commanders are stupid and they
Yep.
overpay for you. So he's actually doing himself a disservice, one, to not fight for that money, and two, not even want to be traded from the 49ers, where he's essentially going to get released. And then a team with any brain is going to be like, I don't know about this guy. So
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened. The Niners did everything they could do to acquiesce and kiss his ass in that
Yeah.
contract negotiations, and he's still acting like a petulant baby. Like, what was your take once that live stream ended on Friday? Like literally, like 5 minutes later, where you were talking,
Yeah.
we're like, you can believe this?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just like he got paid an absorbent amount of money
Right,
and you're still going to act like that.
right.
And then it's like, dude, what? Like, when you get paid that kind of money, you're expected to be a leader on the team, right?
Yes, you are.
You're supposed to lead by example. You're supposed to be a captain. You're going to want guys to vote for you as a captain. Nobody likes this dude. They see him pouting all the time. He's quiet, doesn't want to talk to anybody. He's all about himself. he wants to make a documentary about his contract process and, negotiations. And then now he's in the offseason posting about buying jewelry. Like, bro, you just gave up $27 million. Why are you out there buying necklaces?
Yeah.
Like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, his mind is just not there. I don't want him anywhere near the team. I have a funny story to tell you yesterday, actually.
Yeah, you
I
told me
happened
this.
to happened to be
Yo,
in
go ahead.
Malibu, and I was in Point Doom. There was nobody there, and then this stocky, big, bald guy comes walking out, and he's getting a workout in, and it's Jake Glazer, and it just so happens that he just dropped that story in the morning, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, Jay?" And he's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Hey, why is Brandon being a punk ass?" And he's like, obviously he didn't want to say anything crazy. So he was just like, "Bro, it's so much drama." And I was like, "Oh, I bet." So I can only imagine behind the scenes what's really going on with him and how he doesn't want to communicate with the team. But honestly, I think the Niners are being smart with this. They're playing the PR game, and I don't think they want him back, even if he chooses to say, "All right, I'm ready." I think they're completely done. I think they're going to try to force his hand to, you know, they're saying all the right thing. "Oh, we want him back. Come back and play, and we're waiting on you, and balls in your court." Blah blah blah. Nah, dude. They're
Why
saying the
would you
right
want him
things.
back?
They don't want him back. That's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, they're just playing the legal game so that when it comes time, they can cut ties, and then who knows, maybe even go after even more of the money on the contract.
They should. They should try to get as much money back as they possibly can because
I
he
agree.
didn't do what he agreed to do. That's what
Exactly.
a contract binds you. And when you don't follow
Absolutely.
that, you should not get paid. I'm glad that they
Exactly.
actually I just can't believe it happened in training camp, bro. But I've been this okay, so we've had this argument, me and Sterling and Dre. Um Not an argument, but like a difference of opinion. I never thought Ayuk was coming back. And I said it's been weird
And
that
you
like
called it
one
that
one
night.
person saying, well, maybe sometime between week 6 and 10, and then well, we still haven't opened his practice window, and like all the timelines keep changing between John and Kyle, and you don't know who to believe. And like, Sterling tried to put again a different angle on it,
Yeah.
like, he comes back when he's healthy. He's trying to look at it from a positive, and I'm just like, something's off about this cat, right?
Absolutely.
There's nowhere to be seen. Oh, he's practicing when nobody's there. Why?
Yep.
You're part of this team. Like that. Why are you practicing when nobody's around? Boats is in the booth. Warner's cheering us on, which I hate seeing players hurt cheering us on. I'm like, that is such a weird mind to me. I don't know about you, but it like screws with my brain. Like,
Does it?
yeah, because I'm like, we're always hurt all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many seasons are we going to have guys up in the press box like,
Yeah. They're
yeah,
gonna have an
go
IR booth,
team?
IR suite.
They should have it. They should call it the IR suite. Remember, this is off topic. Remember back, was it 2020 when they did like a Zoom to the press box? It was we had a horrible
Was
year that
everybody
year.
in there? Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Jimmy,
so pissed.
Bosa.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, and they're like taking notes. Like, what are you doing? What are we
Yeah.
doing? Like,
It's
figure out
crazy.
this injury thing, man. This is
Yep.
ridiculous. But yeah, like I wasn't surprised. I just didn't think it was this bad behind the scenes.
Yeah. It just seems like you called it that night when the news broke. Like, BA's not coming back, and I was on the same wavelength as you. Is like, this marriage is just, it's too broken. Like, it's over. Like, there's no reconciliation. This thing looks
No.
done, and like, I want them to go after the whole damn contract. But the
Yep.
thing that's pissing me off is if they knew about this money in training camp, why weren't they more aggressive? And their star signing was Luke Farrell.
Because
Like,
I don't think it's cap
you had a
money.
little bit more cushion to go get somebody if
It's
you
not
knew that
cap. I
money
don't
was
think
going to come off the books.
it's not salary cap money from what people are saying.
It's not for the cap.
It's guaranteed money.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's like signing bonus that they. I don't. When I posted, somebody's like, "That's not actually the salary cap. You're getting misinformation." I'm not sure.
Okay.
We're gonna have to. I have to talk to somebody who understands.
Mad. I can still be
I'm
mad
still
about
mad. I'm mad
Luke
too.
Farrell.
Because the first thing I thought when I heard that they canceled all his money out, it was like, you should have totally been active at the trade deadline. What the hell? Why are you being cheap? Like I was like super mad, but then like somebody kind of clarified. I'm still not sure. That was what somebody said. It's guarantees, contract guarantees, not cap money. So
I
who
see.
knows? All I know is he never wanted to be here. And as soon as they signed, they had buyer's remorse.
Yep.
And I think the Niners were looking for a way to get out of that contract. And so
They
it just
found a
so
way.
happened that he's not a team guy and he doesn't care. And
Mhm.
he's completely disinterested, really. And I never liked his energy. I've always
Yeah.
thought he's had horrible body language. He doesn't come off as a leader. He comes off disenfranchised and disinterested. I don't want
Yep.
someone like that on my team who pouts. And if they don't get the ball or you overthrow them, they start pouting or crying. Like, get the hell out of here with that mess. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
And the
man.
thing is, like, it's kind of like, why did they give him so much money if they knew who he was,
Yeah.
and the money is only probably going to make him worse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
It's only
mean,
going to, it's like drugs with somebody who's already a dirtbag.
yeah,
It's just going to make you like a more amplified dirtbag. Like, oh,
yeah,
he's a jerk when he's sober. Wait till he's drunk, or he's a jerk
exactly.
before he does cocaine. Like, it's just like I don't understand like the mindset. But that's John Lynch. John Lynch is like the ultimate. Like, I'm going to fix this person. We're
Yeah,
going to bring him to the 49ers and we're going to change them. And it's just
yeah,
like, get out
culture.
of town. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have my old feelings. If me and you were still kicking it in the off season, I definitely want to I want to do a deep dive on the front office, and I want
yeah,
to do a deep dive on this health or strength and conditioning staff, and really take a look at what the 49ers need to do to kind of like get out of this repetitive cycle of
yeah,
like good, then horrible because we're injured, then good again. You
yeah,
know, missed draft picks in the early rounds and always having to save it in the later rounds kind of thing. It's like this weird cycle. I want to talk
yeah.
about that with people this offseason.
I wish the journalists would hit them harder with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like really, dude, look, from your draft, from when you guys got here till now, you've missed on this many draft picks. What are you guys going to do to change your draft strategy? Or, from here to here, you guys been the most injured team. What does he do that's different? Like, just really like press them on what's going on, because something's got to change.
Yeah, it's just I'm sick of it. And it's like it's so kind of just accepted that, oh, everybody's hurt.
Yeah,
Mm, this year the league's really injured. I agree. But we're hurt all the time.
yeah. This
It's
is
an
just
every
normal.
year situation.
Yeah,
We've had in 10 years almost one season where we weren't in like the top 5 or top 10, and that was
yeah,
2023. And guess what? We went to the Super Bowl. Go figure. When all your
yep.
players are good, most of them, and you're healthy, wow. I mean, look at the Rams. Is it a
Yes.
surprise that they're as good as they are? No. All the good
We
players that
steal
they have,
somebody from their
yeah, like
draft process and their strength and conditioning, like
yes.
both, and
Come
bring
on,
them
you're
over.
yeah, like bring two both the strength staff guy from what I've gathered that the people underneath the main guy have changed, but the actual head of department is still the same person and he's been the
Yeah,
same person.
he's still the same guy.
So it's like you're changing tires on a rusted out Camaro. The
Exactly.
tires are really nice, but the Camaro's still rusty. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand that. But I'm nobody. I'm just a person. I have no say. Just a whiny fan with opinions and stuff. But real quickly, we'll do this. Special teams. What do you think, man? They've improved. Isn't that crazy? Like we actually
Improved
have
is an
stuff to talk.
understatement.
Yeah, I mean, even from earlier this season, I mean, the kicker came in, did what he had to do, didn't miss any kicks. The punt and kickoff coverage has been ridiculous. Freaking Nick Martin almost had a forced fumble yesterday,
Yep.
which was awesome. I mean, what's your take on all that? And we have a return guy all of a sudden in Sky Moore.
Sky Moore, man, where did he come from? Brent Boyer, man, hey, hats off, because it started off pretty ugly, right? Like we were
Yes,
like,
it
dude,
did. Like
it
nothing's
can't we
changed. Yeah,
can't we can't stay the worst with we changed everybody and we're still horrible. But it takes time for them to gel and learn, what he wants them to do, and they're young. And so, like, I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, I would have been happy with a unit that was ranked in the 20s compared to
yeah,
where we were last year, right? I mean,
yep.
to have, to be ranked, I think we're number 1, correct?
I'm not sure.
I
I don't. That's one
I
statistic I
want
don't
to
look
I
at.
want to say that the Niners are the number 1 special teams in the league. Um, so we went from worst to first, which was pretty incredible, considering how it started. And I was very worried and I was pissed. And I'm like, man, they don't know what they're doing. But, just I think their average starting position kickoffs, I think they're ranked number one because Sky Moore's just, killing it. And, the coverage has been pretty decent. And we have a kicker who can kick, even the ones that we bring in. I don't know if Pinheiro is going to be back next week in the snow and rain and wherever in Cleveland in the freezing cold, but hopefully Matt Gay can keep it going. But yeah, it's been very, very impressive.
Very impressive. And then the last thing, I'm going to look ahead to the Browns a little bit. We don't have to do score predictions or anything. Pretty worried about this game. Weather, East Coast trip. Niners haven't won in Cleveland since 1984. Brock Purdy's had one of his worst performances there. I mean, Jake Moody missed a bunch of kicks when he was here the last time. Based on the performance that we saw on Monday from Brock, don't have a ton of confidence that next week's going to be any better. How do you survive? Let's be honest. I mean, Shredder Sanders, I'm not super, I think we can contain that offense and him.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to at least score enough points? Do we run the ball? Do we play keep away? Do we dink and dunk all day to Christian McCaffrey and Kittle on screens and stuff? Can we? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's my worry. I'm not worried about, containing Shador. I think
that's right. His name is Shador, not Shredder. Sorry.
it could get away from us if our defense is on the field for a long time.
Yeah.
They start getting, the offense starts going 3 and out a lot, then the defense is going to be out there a long time and start getting tired. They're going to break down. So that's what I'm worried about. I am super worried about this going up against this Cleveland defense because, as you noted, Kyle Shanahan is like 1-8 versus Jim Schwartz and that wide 9 defense. And he doesn't win against them. And Myles Garrett is on another level. And their secondary is top notch. And if these wide receivers couldn't get open against these Carolina Panthers, oh boy. We thought Ricky pulled a disappearing act last week and the week before. This dude, we're not even going to see him at all. It's going to be very, very difficult. Brock doesn't play good in the rain, wet balls, cold. It's just a recipe for disaster. Short week, East Coast, like Thanksgiving's in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like worst case scenario. I had this game chalked up as a loss before the season started, and
I think I did too.
I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I don't think the Niners win this game either. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give you a score, but unless they come out and Brock does a 180 from Monday, and all of a sudden his hands grow bigger over the course of the week, and it's crazy, man. This season's been a season from hell with injuries, and I haven't expected much out of this team. They've kind of overperformed. But we're going to get a kind of our final answer in the next couple weeks, what exactly this team is and where we're going. Real quick, where can people find you? I had YouTube. I know you're on TikTok. I think you're on X too. I don't know if you're on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thanks. I'm on TikTok right now. I'm under 4th and Gold over there on TikTok. So you guys can shoot over there, shoot me a follow. I'd appreciate it. I'm on YouTube at SF Gold Rush and on X as well as SF Gold Rush. So I appreciate everything and awesome.
All right, everybody, we are going to book it and get out of here. My man has to get going, so I'm going to go too. I'm going to make some dinner on the East Coast. It's almost 10 o'clock. Time to eat.
Jeez. Yeah.
Everybody have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys on Friday on the Cover 3 podcast. I think I'm hosting this week, which should be interesting.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be uber negative this week. Everybody take care, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
There we go.
Peace.
Piss them all off.
Piss everybody off.
Later, Aaron.
Peace.